Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So before we get started, I'd like to remind you all that I have set up a Patreon. This is just to enable me to really expand my tarot journey, for want of a better description. I really enjoy it and I'm going to carry on doing these pick a card videos and doing the free readings because I enjoy it. I find it a lot of fun, but I do really want to deepen what I do and I want to invest more time into doing tarot, and by having a Patreon and having Patreon supporters, it just helps me basically, obviously financially, but just allows me to, do things like invest in more decks and a camera. I could do with a new camera, and all the rest of it. So it just helps me basically. So if you're interested in that and be interested in access to exclusive Patreon videos and all the rest of it, click on the link in the description box and have a look, see if there is a tier that you are interested in. If you would like to just support me generally in the channel, then I've also got a PayPal me link for anyone who would like to make any donations. If you do decide to do that, thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Again, it's just a bit of support that allows me perhaps to buy another tarot deck or something like that. Or if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do that. Again, it's all in the description box, or my price list and all the rest of it. It's just all there. So yeah, have a look and see if there's anything that you would like to help me with. And I will be very grateful for any help and any support, even if it's just a nice comment on the video. I'm very grateful, so thank you. So moving on, I've done a couple of videos that I consider for entertainment purposes only, that I'm not expecting you to get any therapeutic value out of them or any kind of clarity or understanding. We're just doing it for a bit of fun, doing the old funfair tarot reading, fortune telling aspect of tarot, which is absolutely fine and a perfectly reasonable use of tarot. What you've got to remember is it's not serious. This is not to be taken seriously. I'm not particularly taking it very seriously and I don't want you to either. The idea of this video, which is what would being in a relationship be like, is that you probably know you're never going to get your hands on this person. It's a fantasy figure or somebody that you're just sort of curious about the question. It's celebrities and whatnot. You're not actually going to be in a relationship with this person. So it's important for you to remember that. So bearing that in mind, we have option 1, 2 and 3. I want you to get your person of interest in your mind, think about them and ask the question, can I have an insight into what a relationship with them would be like? When you feel ready, make your choice. If you would like a bit more time to do that, then please press pause because I am now moving on to the readings. Okay, those of you that chose option 1, what would a relationship be like with that person if you actually got your hands on them? And for those of you that skipped the introduction, you naughty things, this is not a serious, proper, in-depth reading about if you actually manage to have a relationship with someone. This is for fun, for entertainment purposes only, and I'm thinking that this is going to be some sort of celebrity that you fancy or something. It's not an actual person in your life. So, but what would it be like if you actually did manage to go with them? So we've got the 7 of Pentacles, we've got the 3 of Chalices, the King of Atames, which is swords, King of Swords. We have the Chariot. We have the Hanged Man, and we have the Hierophant. So I think it's probably good that you don't really get your hands on these people, because this wouldn't be a good relationship. It would be one that you really, really have to invest in, really have to invest your time and effort in order to get something out of it. He's done all the work, he's carved all the pentacles, and now he's shellacking them, polishing them off and varnishing and all the rest of it. You might find that you're the one that does all the work, but it's definitely something where it's a long wait before you got any kind of reward for it. It's one where the 3 of Chalices, having lots of fun, lots of drinks, so it would be one perhaps where you got out and had an active social life, but it also might be one where they prioritise their friends. hopefully you're the friends having fun together. So, but it's, you know, probably going to be a relationship where it's about fun, you know, it's about fun rather than a lot of stability. The King of Atames, you know, what would it be as a relationship? It could be quite cold and analytical and authoritative. You know, it's somebody that this man is on his own in his office going through his paperwork. It's like night time, the candles are lit, you know, he's not with his family enjoying them socially, you know, the day's work is done, but not for him. He's going to carry on working late into the night. And there's this aspect here of working hard towards something. You might find that you or the other partner just prioritizes work over the relationship, and possibly even social life over the relationship, or the only thing that links you is your social life, going out with friends and having fun. The Chariot is about moving forward with determination, but also in this one, in a sense, it's about withdrawing, retreating, and having a victory, because, you know, she thinks she got rid of him, so she's gone to sleep, but in fact no, he faked his retreat and he's come back and he's crept upon her sleeping. So it's a sense where you think that there's a victory, it turns out there's not. There's a surprise waiting for you in this deck. The Hanged Man, it's sacrifice. It's about not getting what you want. It's about having to you know, there's a sense that that person's she's oblivious to him and what he wants. She's just sort of lying there and submissive and not doing anything. It's somebody that's passive. You know, there's an active person and a passive person in this relationship. And the Hierophant in this deck is talking about control issues and about being sure about what you want and going to get it. This is why I'm saying it's probably a brilliant idea that I'm saying this is probably not someone that you should be with, because there's clearly something, you know, it's not a well-matched relationship. It's like one person doesn't care about the other. You know, this is about conquering, this is about being, you know, sacrificing. One person will be dominant over the other and the other person has to sacrifice what they want. It doesn't mean that you'll be the one that has to sacrifice. It could be that you're the dominant one making the other person miserable. You know, it does talk about like a strong bond, a platonic one, so there might be a sense of friendship. Do you remember I said it might be socializing and friendship that combines you? But this one, it's about, you know, because it's a Hierophant, it's about being, you know, in a sense strong and religious and sort of following the crowd and not breaking tradition. It's about making sure you have the support you need and that everything's above board and everything's clear. It's like no surprises. So, you know, you've got to, he knows what to expect from the girls and the girls know what to expect from him. It's no surprises. So I just see this as actually a relationship with them. I was hoping that I'd tell you some sort of lovely fluff, but actually what I say is that it doesn't seem to be a particularly good match. It seems that maybe friendship and having fun is the only thing that really connects you. There doesn't seem to be anything in the terms of love or emotion connection here. This is reflective of the fact, this is the thing about tarot. Tarot reflects the energies of now, and even though I'm trying to do like a fun reading, it's still coming out with the truth that this is probably someone that you don't have any actual emotional connection to, and the reading reflects that. It reflects that. You know, and this sense of waiting and stagnant and investment and reaping the rewards and all that, it just doesn't, you know. And, you know, like one or other of you is just going to be somebody that retreats and comes back when you think that you've won. You haven't. They've just strategically changed, so in order that they can win. And this concerns me because the King of Swords, the King of Atames, he's like, he's the King of Swords. He's stern-hearted, he's cold and dispassionate. It doesn't mean he doesn't love, but it's like trying to get blood from a stone to get them to admit it. You know, they'll always do what's right. If they have to work late into the night because they have obligations, they'll do it and forget that I said I'd read you a bedtime story, you know, to the kids, that kind of thing. They're very logical. very much in their heads. So that's your reading. I really wanted to do a nice fun one, but as I said, that's the way it is. So yeah, let that fantasy go. It's not gonna be any good. There's someone wonderful in your real life that I'm sure you're gonna have a fab, or currently do have a fabulous relationship with, so treasure them as you should. So those of you that chose option 1, that was your fun, or an attempt at a fun reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, I shall leave you with that. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose option 2. For those of you that skipped the introduction, and I'm positive quite a few of you do, this is a fun reading. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's meant to be somebody that you know you're never going to be in a relationship with. It's not, you know, a prediction. It's just a bit of fun. So what would it be like to be in a relationship with that person that you've got in your mind that you would like to be in a relationship with? King of Wands, Ace of Chalices, Six of Atames, that's the swords, Nine of Wands, the Hermit, and the Knight of Chalices. Oh, actually, this is looking a bit better than the other one, wasn't that brilliant? King of Wands, this is steady passion, steady comfort. This is maturing into a comfortable relationship where, you know, this man's like the mentor. He's comfortable, he's in control of his wand, but he's got the fire, he's got the nice home, he's content, he's empowered, he's innovative and different. So this is a lively, living relationship, but that has maturity and depth and has growth to it. And it has a bit of fun, and you know, he's got a nice cute little pet. This is like a nice sort of grounded but yet still exciting relationship. It's full of love and abundance, new love, new passion, just an abundance. This is the kind of relationship, you know, if this was a real relationship, I'll be pleased with this reading, because it's talking about that love renews itself, really, that you keep the love alive, that the happiness is there, the sensitivity and the emotions are still there, and it's that sort of saying of, we love each other as much as we did when we first met, that kind of thing. It's a loving relationship full of sensitivity and depth again. It is one that keeps moving. The Six of Atames, the Six of Swords, it's about moving on to new thoughts, new ideas, moving on, leaving behind the things that no longer serve you. And that's why it's got depth and vitality and, you know, new love, an abundance of love, because it would be a relationship that doesn't allow itself to get stagnant. If you and this person would need to move, that you would do it. But I'm talking about not necessarily physically moving, I'm talking about emotionally and mentally moving. As the relationship changes and you as individuals change, you let it. You know, you don't let the relationship stay stagnant. You don't assume that what fit in the first few months or years of the relationship would be expected to fit 10, 15 years into the relationship, because they do. People change, and so do our connections with each other change. They deepen, they mature, they grow, they stretch, they, you know, make room for kids and all the rest of it. Things change. This would be a strength in the relationship, that what's outgrown is allowed to be left behind, and that you sort of mentally and emotionally move on to pastures new. You don't let things stagnate, which is good. Nine of Wands. You know, this is about, you know, communicating, like making up after, you know, an argument. This is what always takes me of. They've had a bit of a fight. He doesn't want to listen to her anymore, but she's like, no, you've got to listen to me. You know, she's not going to let them go to bed on the fight. So I think it's about making up after arguments. So I think, you know, any relationship has tensions, disagreements, arguments, but you'll be able to make up after it. This is because you've got the Six of Atames. You're able to move on So when things aren't going well, you can just say, okay, I still love you, so let's just, maybe it is time to leave that behind. Maybe it is time to do this. Maybe we are time to expand ourselves and move on and progress, and we're going to do that. You know, you're not going to, as I say, go to sleep on an argument. You're not going to allow yourselves to stagnate, really. This is a relationship that has lots of movement in it, and it's not like enforced unhappy movement. You just resolve issues. We've got the Hermit, which is, you know, it's actually talking about being blocked in this deck, or refusal, that, you know, not having sex means you're going to enjoy it later on. So in this relationship, there might be periods when you're not together. You know, if you imply that, you know, he's the Hermit, he's gone off to focus on the candle, he's not focusing on anything else. If there is a situation where there is periods of separation for whatever reason, that there wouldn't be any cheating, I would read that, because he's focused on what he's meant to be doing, the candle, he's in a journey and all the rest of it. Two people are having it away outside his cave, and he's not paying attention to it. He's not trying to join in, he's not trying to seduce her away from him, he's focused on what he's got to do. So this implication is that there's enough going on that if one or other of you has to go away on a work trip, you're not going to be panic stricken that your partner's playing away. And I said that because there's this sense of maturity with this relationship. It's an understanding that you can go without, and that when you're back together, it will be brilliant. Yeah. And I think as well, I'm going to take from that as well, another meaning, which is with the Hermit, is that somebody that's happy to be on their own. So I think that there isn't necessarily going to be too many issues or too much stress about somebody that if there is a situation, and it does happen more and more, where there's people have to work away or go away or whatever, that they'll be fine with it and you'll be fine with it. So or if your job, you know, you both end up working jobs where you have different shifts, so someone's working nights, someone working days or whatever, and you're living in the same house but you're not necessarily seeing too much of each other, you'll both be okay in the relationship with shared moments of solitude. And it can be solitude within the relationship, that if you have a particular interest that you really like to devote several hours a week to or something, they'll be all right with that. They've got their own thing that they can devote several hours a week to. You don't have to live in each other's pockets. And the Knight of Chalices, this is interesting because this is like shyness and an offering. She's shy, but he is offering his love to her. So there might be somebody, one of you in the relationship, that is a bit shy and a bit like, oh, you know, whatever, doesn't come forward, and the other person is the one that comes forward with emotions, and you know, and the other person has to be wooed a bit. But it's all about, you can't discover your true self and develop without connections with each other. So I think actually what it's saying, that overall in this connection with each other, the relationship would allow you both to grow, that you'll discover things about yourself due to your connection with them. And this is again because of this sense of always moving forward together, and committing to each other, and trying to have a mutually satisfying relationship where there's commitment and love and passion and warmth and all the rest of it, but also space to be yourself. And this is what allows that to happen in this deck. Is also the Knight of Chalices, so I've got to say it's a romantic relationship, one with romance and love, and sort of coming home with flowers and making someone their favourite meal and all the usual traditional things that people are meant to do. But yeah, there's a sense that maybe in this relationship one's a bit shy of it and just sort of a bit hesitant, and the other one's, you know, no, come on. You know, from my perspective, it would be you saying, oh, let's be together, because you're the one asking for the reading, and the other person's a bit hesitant. But overall, would be a really nice relationship, quite well balanced. just mature. Weirdly, it just feels very mature. So actually, you know, as a fun reading, it's not that bad. If you manage to get your hands on them, you probably could, both of you, make quite a good go of it. But I don't think you will. That's not the reading. The reading is for a bit of fun. But yeah, if you could only be with them, it would be nice. So that's your reading. Please let me know in the comment section whatever happens. I mean, some of you might actually manage to get hold of this person, so let me know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it. Please take very good care of yourself, and thank you very much for listening to me. Bye. Okay, those of you that chose option 3, this is your reading. And for those of you that whizzed ahead and didn't listen to my introduction, this is a fun reading. It's for entertainment purposes only. This isn't meant to be a proper reading of, oh, this is my crush, I want to, you know, this is meant to be like the celebrity you've never been able to meet type situation. What would it be like if you could be with them? So yeah, it's not a prediction that you'll be with them. I think it's highly unlikely that you will, but if you were by any small chance able to get your hands on this person and be in a relationship with them right now, what would that relationship be like? So we've got the 9 of Chalices, that's nice. The Wild Hunt, that's the Tower card. The Ace of Wands. We also have the 3 of Wands. The 2 of Wands, the 6 of Swords. Okie, give me a second. So, hot, fiery, good. Very, it would change everything, this relationship. Of course, I mean, if it's like some sort of multi-millionaire person, of course it would. 9 of Chalices, wish come true. It'll be your wish come true if you could get with this person. It'd be an absolute dream. Absolute dream. This woman is satisfied. She's got everything she needs. She's got all of her 9 cups. She's got a lovely warm fire behind her, and she's got her crystal ball. 9 of Chalices. It's like the self-satisfied merchant. So it would be emotionally satisfying, abundant. You'd be very happy, they would too. Yeah. Happiness. Emotional satisfaction. You might be a bit smugness and a bit like, oh, how can things go wrong? Things will always go wrong. But the Wild Hunt, it's the Tower card. I think it would absolutely upturn your life to be with this person. And I'm going to say you, because you're the one with the reading, but maybe that, you know, it's going to probably upturn their lives as well. All relationships do. You stop being single, you're with someone else, you create a new life together. It's different. It's, you know, it's not the same. But this is absolutely upturning. It rocks the foundations. All that is unstable in your life and theirs will be destroyed. And a brand new tower will be built with what's left of the foundations. And the foundations are the secure aspects of yourself and your life. So it's going to really change. It might be shocking as well. This relationship might be, in a sense, shocking. I'm not thinking damaging, but that would be shocking to you. First of all, for it to happen, because I'm going with the assumption that you did listen and you realise that this is not meant to be. It's just meant to be fun, but also that it would utterly transform your life. It would absolutely transform it, and it would be hot. Ace of Wands is sex, passion, drive, new energy, a new passion, a new excitement, a new eureka moment, a gift of passion, and, you know, like Wands, sex, fire. So it's going to be fiery, you know, it's the Tower moment along with fire. It's just going to transform and be hot and sexy and all the rest of it. The 3 of Wands. I think, you know, this always makes me think of a secluded couple. So there's almost a sense of it's quite private. That it's something that it's just going to be between the two of you. Which I would, most relationships, that's normal, so I don't, you know. But it's about rediscovering, in particular in this deck, it's rediscovery. I can't remember what the exact word is, but it's like the past, like nostalgia or something. And it's like finding something that you thought was lost. So it's like if you thought you were never going to get this relationship, hence the happily ever after, like the wishes come true. It's discovering something that you thought lost. So if you thought you were going to be stuck single forever, you're with this person and you discover the things you forgot, and you're able to recapture and fulfill these desires that you thought weren't ever going to be satisfied. Some of you might think that you're on the shelf, but if you were with this person, you wouldn't. Two of Wands. This is going to be one where I think shared food is important, dinner time, eating meals together, but also communicating. It's sharing with each other, and it's a sharing that doesn't overpower. You know, she's got her foot in between his legs. She's like, you can see she's stroking his leg. They're having a full-blown conversation. He's leaning forward to her. They've got the bread, the apples, the nuts, all the rest of it. It's about sharing, and but still having a sense of individuality, that there's still that understanding that you are two individuals that need your own space. And next we have the Six of Swords, which is, you know, this sort of the passion, you know, it's the drive. He's broken her necklace in the passion. They've ripped their clothes off. They look like they're behind the castle, next to the moat, and they've just been swept away by passion. Remember I said the Ace of Wands about sex? It's very sexual and very passionate. And this is about doing exciting things, about knowing that there's the rest of the world, there's the relationship in the rest of the world. It's the Six of Wands is like the going off in the ship. So it's about exploring in the rest of the world, but being together as a couple and doing exciting things. So if your fantasy relationship with this fantasy person was that it will be wild, hot, sexy, fun and adventurous, but yet you'd still be quite close and it would be wonderfully emotionally satisfying, then that's exactly what you would get with this person if you could be with them. So that's your reading, that's your fun reading. I hope you did find it entertaining. Let me know in the comments section. Thank you very much for listening to the reading. Please take very good care of yourself, and goodbye.